Welcome. I am Eric Unfiltered. Here I discuss news, politics, and whatever else I find interesting, along with my very colorful, unfiltered commentary. If you would like to follow me on social media, I am on X at Eric Not Sorry, and on Truth or Facebook at Eric Unfiltered Podcast. I hope you enjoy. Now let's get on with the show. How's everybody out there doing today? I hope you are doing well. As for myself, per usual, I am caffeinated, medicated, and never regulated, so let's freaking go! I'm gonna be fluffing some feathers today, and I don't care. So I'm just gonna put it out there right now at the beginning. If any of you, support boys or men being in women's spaces or sports, fuck you, get fucked, and fuck off. You will not like me, and I certainly hate you. Anybody that believes that a boy should play in girls' sports, get fucked. Eat shit, go away, you're a lunatic, you're insane. We have had reports in Connecticut about this, and nationally, of course, because it's June, more stuff is coming to light over this crap. I'm going to do some looking up on some stuff I have on my phone that I'm going to bring you. One thing I do recall, if you do not know the woman by the name of Riley Gaines, look her up. Not only because she's pretty, but she's very smart, and she herself had to deal with this horse shit when she was in college. She was a swimmer, a very, very good swimmer on a very good swimming team. Now, she told her story. This is a few years ago. I know she was on Joe Rogan. She's done different podcasts and interviews and so on and so forth. And she has been a champion for getting men out of women's sports. And yes, I say men. I do not say transgender men. Women don't have dicks. Okay? Women don't have dicks. Or fake booby. Men should not be playing in women's sports. Period. She has been attacked vehemently, not only in the media, but on social media, death threats, physically attacked. She has been through the ringer, and still is. But she, when I, again, look her up, I'm going off of memory here, but when she was in college, there was a man by the name of William Thomas, who was a swimmer in the men's NCAA, and he sucked. He was ranked 419 or something like that. I don't remember. He was unremarkable. Okay, he was just he just was a run of the mill. And then one day he decided he was going to be a girl named Leah, and switched over to the women's swimming. And wow, shocker, he started dominating. Now, in case any of you have not gone to a biology class. Now, I have. I don't have a biology degree. I don't. But I do know that there are some subtle differences when it comes to men and women, at least physically. Obviously, there are outliers, of course. But by and large, most of the time, the average man compared to the average woman, men are stronger, have denser bones, larger lungs, which results in more stamina. Again, bigger muscles, more strength. And again, there are outliers, right? I mean, look at the Serena sisters, not twins. The Serena sisters, they're ginormous. They're incredible specimens of the human body. Especially when they were still playing, compared to all the other ladies in tennis, they were huge. They were giants. They were, hitting the ball harder than most. I mean, obviously, like I said, there are outliers, right? But That's not normally the case. So when it came to swimming, William Thomas was not exactly a standout star in the men's division. So he went, I'm a girl. And he started dominating all the women's swimming. He was number 1 in the world in NCAA swimming as a girl with a dick. He was allowed to be in the locker rooms. Yes, because there's nothing a woman likes more when changing and getting naked is having a man they don't know around them. Yes, women love that. I know you guys do, right? That's just normal. We should just normalize it. Fuck no. Look, if this dude wants to live his life as playing cosplay as a woman, fine. Live your life, bro. Get your prostate checked because you're still a dude. But if he wants to live his life how he wants, that's fine. But he was allowed to compete in women's sports. How fucking warped is that? Riley was basically told to shut the fuck up and get in line. That's it. Just shut the fuck up. Doesn't matter how many years she has been doing this sport, and she's not alone. I'm just talking Riley here, but there are many women, not just in swimming, but across all sports, especially when they're good enough to get on a collegiate team somewhere, especially if they have a free ride, a scholarship. They have busted their ass hard many late nights, probably staying up late to study because they were up at the butt crack of dawn to go to practice. They would practice, class, study, practice. They have busted their ass for how many years to get to where they are, only to have a man come in and just shove them off the podium. And then the league, the NCAA, allowed it. And again, told Riley basically to shut the fuck up. Her school told her basically, shut the fuck up. You don't want to be a phobe, do you? You don't want to be canceled, do you? Until one day she just said, fuck this shit. And she spoke up. And she spoke out. Good. Good on you, Riley. Fucking kudos to you. And she is not alone. She, I think, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, she is the one that cracked the glass. Maybe she didn't shatter it, but she definitely put a big old crack in it. And she brought some attention to it, national attention to it. And then the debate began. And then again, you have people out there thinking that men can be women. No, they can't. They can't. You can live your life as one, but you're not a woman. And then, of course, you have normal people like myself, yours truly, saying that's fucked up and that's wrong. That's total bullshit. And I stand with Riley. Damn right. She's a great follow on X. Now, recently, actually, I am recording on June 7th, so I believe it was on June 6th. I don't know, whatever. Not fucking important. Former Olympic medalist, gymnast, whatever, Simone Biles is running her mouth and talking shit to Riley Gaines. Even USA Today, that fucking dumpster fire, is championing Simone Biles for standing up for gender rights. To which I say to you, Simone Biles, if you had to compete against men like many girls nowadays, nobody would know who the fuck you are. You wouldn't have the medals you have, Simone, because you would have lost to men. Who knows? You may not have had the chance to compete because if you weren't good enough, the man may have taken your spot. So it's great for somebody like you to run your fucking mouth when you didn't have to do this shit. You didn't have to deal with competing with men. So Simone Biles, do the world a favor and sit down and shut the fuck up. Now, if you hear any skips today in this episode, it's because I'm pausing to bring up information on my phone. So just let you know. So I brought up this first story from just this year at the California Interscholastic Federation, reading is hard, Southern Section Finals on May 17th, 2025. 16-year-old Reese Hogan, shout out to you, Reese, from Crayon Lutheran High School, placed second in the girls' triple jump with a personal best and school record for 37 feet 2 inches. Hats off to you, Reese Hogan. Badass. Oh, but wait. She was out-jumped by a man by over 4 feet. That's right. A man who I'm not going to say his name because fuck him, beat her jump by over 4 feet. Of course, there was a medal ceremony and what have you. I shall continue reading. After the medal ceremony, when he, who shall not be named, stepped off the podium, Reese Hogan stepped up to the first place spot, smiling for a photo. The crowd erupted in cheers, as they should have. Because even in California, where a lot of this shit is allowed, and they are not alone, even they know, the vast majority of normal adults know that that is bullshit, and Reese won first place. That is why they cheered for her, because she won. She placed second because a man was allowed to compete. This is not the only story, folks. I'm going to pause for a sec, and I will bring up the next one. All right, I'm back. So this write-up is, again, I'm doing an AI search on Grok. So, again, everything's got a little grain of salt. But at the Oregon State Track and Field Championships on May 31st, 2025, held at Hayward Field in Eugene. Now, Oregon, again, not exactly a bastion of a red state, although from the pictures I've seen, Oregon looks very beautiful, but it is a very inclusive type of state. So, high school seniors Reese Eckerd from Sherwood High School and Alexa Anderson, I want to say it's Tigard High School. Shout out to you, Miss Reese Eckerd and Alexa Anderson. Shout out to you for what you did. 2 thumbs up from me. Refused to stand on the medal podium alongside a male athlete. Yes, I'm changing this as I go because, And I'm not going to read his name because fuck that guy. Eckerd, who placed 4th, and Anderson, who placed 3rd, both finished ahead of the man who tied for 5th. Instead of standing on their designated podiums, instead of standing on their designated podium spots, they turned away and faced the opposite direction as medals were awarded. An Oregon School Activities Association official gestured to them to move, and Anderson alleged the official told them to get out of the photo if they wouldn't participate. Again, reading is hard. Directing them to stand off to the side. Anderson stated, quote, "We didn't refuse to stand on the podium out of hate. We did it because someone has to say this isn't right. In order to protect the integrity and fairness of girls' sports, we must stand up for what is right." End quote. Young lady, perfectly said. You are 100% correct. The incident, captured on video, went viral and drew praise from figures like Riley Gaines. Hey, I mentioned her. Who posted on X. Quote, two female athletes in Oregon refused to stand on the podium because a boy was awarded a place. Girls have had enough, end quote. Tennis legend Martina Navratilova also commented, criticizing the inclusion of male athletes in girls' sports. I have a hard time saying other words, but I had no problem saying Martina Navratilova. My brain doesn't work right sometimes, y'all. I don't know. But even she agrees, like, this is kind of bullshit. Like, WTF. Women have fought for so much to get so much in America. Across the world right now in 2025, women are truly oppressed. Not the bullshit crap here in America, because life is so fucking easy. Everybody's looking for something to bitch about. But women across the globe right now are truly oppressed. They are treated or looked at as less than dogs in certain societies. They're treated just as slaves in certain societies. Here in America, we know we have a history, right? If you went to school and you took a history class, we know there's been some bad shit in America's history. But women have fought hard. Some, I'm sure, have died along the way to get the rights women have and deserve. There was a time, hell, not too long ago, I think it was like, the early 80s, women could not get a credit card unless their husband signed off on it. I don't remember all the details of the law, but yeah, I think that ended, what was it, the early 80s, late 70s, something like that? We're talking the 1980s, bro. I'm not talking like 1880. Like, that's crazy. Women, the right to vote, the right to own a car, own a business, all of that stuff, right? Women have fought long and fucking hard to be equal. And now, men are taking over their spots. Women are allowed to have their own sports, their own changing rooms, their own bathrooms. Hell, I don't care if there's like an Elks Club out there where it's no men allowed. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that whatsoever. But what the fuck is going on? What is going on? I mean, look, if I had to train my ass off, eat right, not eat that chocolate cake, get up at 4:30 in the morning, go to the gym, go to class, go back to the gym, go to practice, and bust my ass every day to get an opportunity for a scholarship to a college and possibly go pro in whatever field whatever sport I was trying to get into, and someone else comes along with fucking steroid needles sticking out of their ass, and somebody turns a blind eye and says, oh, no, ignore that, it's good for the sport, and I lose a spot because some motherfucker's cheating, injecting themselves with HGH or whatever, I'm going to be fucking pissed. Now, obviously, I'm a dude. I don't know what it's like to be a woman. I don't know. I'm not an attractive dude, okay? So I don't walk around having ladies looking at me and leering at me, right? I ain't no Channing Tatum, okay? But I also don't know what it's like to be a woman getting leered at and looked at when I'm walking through the mall. I don't know what life is like as a woman. But I can tell you that if I was one, if I was like Riley Gaines or these other young ladies, and I was putting in my work and putting in my time and working through injuries and, doing it. I was getting after it, and I should have won. I had the number one time as a woman, or the highest weight lift or whatever the fuck, and then some dude comes up and is like, I got this. And I was told, oh no, stand on you're a podium number 2. Eat shit. Go fuck yourself. And people that support this, politicians support this. Chris Murphy here in our own fucking state of Connecticut was asked in an interview, a few weeks ago, about this, is he in favor of having, boys and girls sports? He tiptoed around it. He hemmed and hawed, and he actually came back with one of the most fucking retarded responses. Well, I don't have daughters. Chris Murphy, you're a fucking joke, dude. Resign. You're an embarrassment. And then ultimately, if I believe he did ultimately say that, yeah, he's in favor of it. You're a piece of shit, Murphy. And anybody else that thinks this is acceptable, eat shit. Girls, you have a hard enough road in your life trying to pick the right man that isn't just trying to get in your pants. You're dealing with what you got to deal with every month. We all know. I've never experienced it, but I've heard it's not always a big old fun time. Y'all deal with a lot of shit as it is. Yeah, but now you got to worry about men coming in and kicking you off of podiums, taking your jobs, taking your scholarships. What fucking insanity are we living in today, folks? Oh, but wait, there's more. Just recently, June 6th, 2025, in Minnesota, Champlain, I hope I'm saying this right, Champlain Park won the Class 4A state championship in softball with a male pitcher. That's right. The softball team, the girls' softball team, won the championship, and their pitcher is a dude. What the fuck? Now, here in Connecticut, I have a lengthy Grok AI write-up to read through, but it's important. It's fucking important. Ladies out there, if you are competing in sports, you should not have to deal with this crap. You have your own league. Men have their own leagues. I don't care what's going wrong or on inside their head. If you're a dude, you can live your life how you would like, but you're a dude. You don't get to compete with girls. So here in Connecticut, there's a controversy that started. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to read this. The controversy over male athletes in Connecticut centers on the Connecticut Interscholastic Athletic Conference policy implemented in 2013. 12 years ago, folks. 12 years ago, which allows high school athletes to compete based on their gender identity. In line with state anti-discrimination laws, this policy has sparked significant debate, as it should, particularly in girls' track and field, where male athletes... Let's see here. Hold on. I'm going to pause for a sec. Hold on. Okay. Where male athletes competed without hormone therapy, they won multiple state championships between 2017 and 2020, including 15 titles and breaking 17 records because they're dudes. Opponents, including athletes Selena Soul, sorry if I'm saying that wrong, Chelsea Mitchell, Alana Smith, and Ashley Nicoletti, filed a federal lawsuit in 2020 represented by the Alliance Defending Freedom, ADF, arguing that the policy violates Title IX, a federal law ensuring equal opportunities for women in education and athletes. They claimed that competing against men, who they argued had physical advantages due to being... Grok, why does it say being assigned male at birth? Fucking retarded. Arguing because they're dudes, deprived them of wins, medals, scholarships, and other opportunities. The lawsuit sought to block men from participating in girls' sports and to erase their records. In 2020, the United States Department of Education's Office for Civil Rights ruled that the CIAC policy violated Title IX, threatening to withhold federal funding from the CIAC and several school districts. I am going to read them. Parents, young female athletes, pay attention, because the districts were Glastonbury, Bloomfield, Hartford, Cromwell, Canton, and Danbury. The ACLU, the American Civil Liberties Union, fucking group, they defended the boys and argued that the policy upholds Title IX by ensuring equal participation for all students, including boys, and that the plaintiff's claims of lost opportunities were speculative. Go fuck yourself, ACLU. Eat dick. Unbelievable. A federal district court dismissed the lawsuit in 2021, citing mootness since the boys had graduated, and a 3-judge panel of the Second U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals upheld this in 2022. However, in 2023, the full Second Court... I'm going to start that over. Again, reading is hard. Martina Navratilova. See, I can still do it. Unbelievable. I hope you all laughing at me right now because I am kind of laughing at myself. All right, so however, in 2023, the full Second Circuit revived the case, ruling that the plaintiffs had standing to seek changes to athletic records and potential damages, though it did not rule on the policy's legality. The case was sent back to a lower court for further proceedings. Supporters of the policy, who are douchebags, including the CIAC and the ACLU, douchebags, emphasized compliance with Connecticut's anti-discrimination laws and the inclusive intent of Title IX. No, it doesn't, bro. No, it doesn't. Eat shit. Critics, including the ADF and some parents, just some parents. Okay. Why not all parents? I'm curious. Parents, get involved in your kids' fucking world. Especially if you got daughters. They fucking need your help. Especially now. More than fucking ever, bro. Like, get involved. All right. They argued for policies based on biological sex or hormone levels to ensure fairness, pointing to the physical advantages of male athletes. The debate has drawn national attention, with Connecticut being one of 18 states, plus the Washington, D.C., which allows unrestricted boy participation in high school sports with girls, while at least 25 states have enacted bans on boys competing in female sports. Recent developments, including a 2024 victory by a boy high jumper, reignited criticism of the CIAC policy. Well, yeah, because dudes shouldn't be competing with girls, bro. What the fuck? In recent developments, the Trump administration's Department of Education, Undersecretary Linda McMahon, initiated a new investigation into Cromwell's transgender athlete policies, announced on June 3rd, 2025, extending to restrooms and locker room usage. This followed President Trump's executive order keeping men out of women's sports, which threatens to rescind federal funding for programs deemed to deprive girls of fair athletic opportunities. Cromwell's mayor, James something or other, stated that the district currently has no gender-diverse CIAC athletes and follows state and CIAC rules, expressing confusion over why Cromwell was targeted. Maybe because you guys fucking allowed it. Maybe. Maybe. You fucking moron. Oh, Jesus Christ. Use a search engine, dickhead. The investigation risks nearly $1 million in federal special education funding. A rally supporting these men that want to compete in girls' schools was held on June 3rd, 2020. Yeah, fuck those idiots. I'm not going to read any more about those fucking morons. Get fucked, dude. If you think a dude can compete with girls and you think that's okay, go fuck yourself. I know, look, Joe Rogan, I know I've talked about him a lot. Gee, I can't imagine why. Years ago, we all know, if you've never watched Joe Rogan is left of center politically. He's, has no problem with the rainbow community. He was supportive of gay marriage long, before it was cool. And even he spoke out against this because there was a dude competing in MMA against women. And he took some flack for it, and he just told everybody to go fuck off. Like, this is wrong. Because Joe Rogan knows health. He knows combat sports. He knows jiu-jitsu. He knows about that stuff. He knows about boxing. He knows about MMA, mixed martial arts, if you're unfamiliar. He knows about cage fighting, and he also knows the difference between men and women. And Joe Rogan's not a biologist. He fucking A. Crazy. Maybe it was the mushrooms he did. I don't know. I don't know. But he even was talking about this, and people tried to they targeted him. They tried to cancel fucking Joe Rogan. He's speaking normal. He has seen it. This one dude, up to that point, at least, when he spoke about it, had 2 fights against women, and one of them, he fractured the chick's skull because men's bones are denser. The muscles are stronger. You can piss and moan about that all you want. I'm just stating the facts. But this dude cracked this chick's skull because he hit her so hard. But that's okay. That's okay, right? Fairness and equality. Fuck off, dude. Fuck off with this shit. Just, what was it, this past Olympics, there was some dude fighting, as a boxer, right? And then didn't he have to face off against another dude in a boxing, like the finals, in the women's division? Yes. Yes, folks. I believe that is the case. 2 dudes fought for the gold medal in boxing in female boxing. What? And it's these people are fucking delusional. Like I said, you can live your life the way you want. I don't give a shit. But if you are a man, not assigned male at birth, you're a dude. You don't get to compete against women. You don't get to use women's dressing rooms, changing rooms, or bathrooms. Now, look, I get it. Sometimes maybe you got, you're about to shit your pants, all right? You run into a restaurant, you're like, where's the bathroom? And you run, and you open up the men's room door, and you're like, oh, shit. And you run into the ladies' room, sorry. Okay. Still not exactly cool, but I get it. That's an emergency. You're about to crap your pants. I get it. No different than I have been at a restaurant where dad brought in his 4-year-old daughter to use the toilet because there was nothing available in the ladies' room. I don't have a problem with that because, hey, little girl, I don't want her peeing in her pants. No, hell no. Yes, Dad, please. Be a dad. Hell yeah, help your daughter out. Fuck yeah. No, but that's different, right? Come on, folks. This is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about somebody who puts on a wig and high heels and lipstick and says, I'm a girl, and then goes to use the ladies' room. No, dude, you're a dude. You don't have to go use the urinal, but use the men's room. Or if you're a woman, I'm a guy. I'm a guy now. No, you're not. You're a chick. You're a chick with a fake dick, or you're a dude with a vagina. I guess. No, men don't have vaginas. Sorry, not sorry. That's just reality, folks. If you don't like what I'm saying here, I don't care. My bucket of fucks are limited, and if I am offending you with this episode, yeah, I'm not reaching into that bucket to give you a fuck to give because I don't have one. I don't. This shit needs to fucking stop, folks. And it all starts with you. All of you, especially you parents, not just getting involved in your kids' life and their school and their athletic careers and stuff. Not just that. Yes, that's the start. Elections have consequences. Do your research, folks. And it's not just president. No. This is local shit. Your town council, your the board of ed. Get involved with that shit. And if you find your mayor, the governor, if those people support boys and girls sports, vote them the fuck out. And it's not just this topic. Any other topic. If I've covered the sexually explicit books in schools, and I know I'm going to talk about it again. But if you have a problem with those books in schools, you have a problem with boys competing against girls, you have a problem with a dude going into the same locker room as your daughter, get involved. Go to school board meetings. Express your dismay. Vote. Get involved, because this shit will not stop if you are complacent. That is why in 2013... in Connecticut, this fucking shit went in the books and was allowed. It has been allowed because all of us, you and me, have become complacent. I didn't think of this shit 12 years ago. I wasn't even on my radar. If somebody told me, yeah, that dude's going to, play golf against that chick. What? What are you talking about? Oh, yeah, that guy's going to get in the boxing ring with that girl. They're just sparring, right? They're not really going to fight, right? No, I wasn't thinking about this shit 12 years ago, folks. And I know most of you weren't either. But this shit's here now. And if you want the shit to stop, you need to do something about it. Again, not a violent way. Do not go down that road. That is bad juju. Do not do that. But get involved. Call it out. Talk to radio personalities. Fuck calling the local media, because they're just going to call you a phobe or a bigot or whatever and hang up on you, because they don't fucking give a shit. They don't care. But go to the school board meetings. Vote. Go to the polls. Tell these people. Bring this stuff to your neighbor's attention. And if you lose friends and family members over it, so fucking be it. What hill are you going to die on? What hill are you going to die on? Are you going to stand up for your daughters or your granddaughters or your nieces? If not, what the fuck? Then shut up. Just let it happen then. Just fucking lay there and let it happen. Just starfish it out. Look, me personally, I have only competed with boys, except for when I was in Little League. There was a few years where there was a girl in the league, and she was on my team. Now, yes, we were young boys, going back to the 80s, where girls can't play sports. Girls can't play baseball. Do you know what our male coach said to us? He said, boys, she's on the team for a reason. We all had tryouts, and there's a reason why she is here. Because she can. And boy, oh boy, did she prove all of us boys wrong. Because Krista, I don't remember her last name. I don't. But Krista, she could fucking play. She was one of our best pitchers. And I remember we asked her one day, because there was girls softball. It was slow pitch, I believe. Don't quote me on that. But we asked her, why are you here playing baseball? Why aren't you in softball with the other girls? She goes, because I don't want to play softball. I want to play baseball. And I was like, okay, based. And it was great. But again, going back to biology, she was a girl competing against all of us guys. And we're all young kids. We're scrawny, right? We're awkward. We haven't developed yet, right? So we're all kind of, on par with each other. But then as the years progressed, I don't recall what year it was, but she eventually moved on out of Little League, and I think she probably went into fast pitch softball. I don't recall. But again, that's different because she was joining us. The girl went and joined the men, and she could hang. Cool. Now, if I decided to go join the slow pitch softball league, yeah, I would have fucking dominated too, because I was a boy. But now we have men with a mental disorder, or they're just looking for an easy way to get ahead. And now they're competing with girls. This is so fucking wrong. This is mind-numbing, folks. This drives me absolutely batshit fucking crazy. Girls and women have fought, like I said, for generations to have certain rights, to be looked at not as a second-class citizen, to have the right to literally do whatever women want to do. If they want to get a job, you can get a job. You want to become a carpenter? Here's your hammer. You want to be a stay-at-home mom and a homemaker? By all means. It's your life. You want to vote? Great. You don't? Stay home. You want to drive? Here's your get a license. You don't want to drive? Then don't get one. Women have fought for generations in America to have the same rights and equality as men, and now men are taking their fucking spaces, taking their opportunities away. Fuck that shit. If you don't like it, you don't like my opinion, fuck you. I see what makes you cheer. Your boos mean nothing to me. I know I'm misquoting the character, but you know, if you watch Rick and Morty, you fucking get it. But it's still true. If you want to call me a phobe, yep, guess I am. I guess so. And what else you got? I've been called a lot worse by people that matter more to me than you. So what else you got? I'm an ist. I'm some sort of phobe. Yep, guess I am. Okay, next. What else you got? And you're a bitch. You are fucking over little girls, and you're fucking over young ladies. I think I'm on the right side of history on this one. All right, I think I'm going to wrap it up there. It's time for, let's see what time. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, so where's my bottle opener? Hey, you got that? Thanks. So I'm going to wrap it up there. If you like this episode, please give it a like, share, follow, all the internet shit. You know how that goes. And until next time, keep being you. I just wanted to do a really quick correction, which I don't typically do this in the episode, but early on I mentioned, I think I said the Serena sisters in tennis. I meant to say the Williams sisters. So, quick correction on that one. I caught it when I listened back, but I just wanted to do a quick correction on it. So, again, thank you. Correction.